Okay, I have a little bit of a interesting, slightly disappointing, but overall not too bad video to make today. I want to make a video on the walking challenge that I did. I want to go over, it didn't go well, in a way. I did learn a lot though, actually, so in that way it went well. I unsuccessfully did 30 days of challenge. It's about maybe 9 or 10 days, which I think is really solid. But I want to go over kind of my thought process for how I did the challenge the first time through and what went wrong, and then what I plan to do for the next time through to make it go better. What was the challenge? Well, I wanted to be able to. I'm going back home and I'm going to do some hiking. So I wanted to be able to hike 7 peaks in 7 days. That was kind of the idea of the challenge. I thought that if I walked consistently, I'd be able to kind of build up my feet and my legs and maybe my knees a little bit. So I thought I would walk every day for like 3+ miles to do that. So the challenge was very vague in a way, which I now realize. What structure did I create to help myself do this? Not really that much. I basically just said I have to walk every day. I left it open as far as when I walked, like I said, exactly how much I walked. There's no real schedule to it. Why did I do that? I think because I didn't really know what I was getting into. What was nice about that is that, it allowed me to choose the time of day that was kind of the most, the nicest out, that I had the most time. I didn't have to really work around it very much. But one difficulty with that was that, and I'll get more into this in a minute, is that it made it kind of difficult to actually keep the schedule when other things got in the way. I think that was the hardest part. Like this method worked fine on nice sunny days where I had free time. But on days where I had other client meetings or the weather wasn't so nice and I didn't really feel like walking, just leaving it up to me, after I've been walking for several days straight, oftentimes led to me not wanting to walk. Let's start with what went well. We'll start with that. So for the first several days, I was actually super excited to walk. It felt really good. All right, what's up, guys? Day 3 of walking every day. Did about 5.5 yesterday, about 5 the day before, and I'm gonna go for like maybe 4 or 5, 6 miles today, hoping that this blister. Oh, there it is. Hoping it doesn't get too bad. Um, hey guys, I'm out here walking. Actually feeling pretty good. Thought I would document this. Walking up like the only hill that exists in the Midwest. And I'm having a really good time. I actually feel pretty strong. Blister's not too big of a pain. All right, here we go. What day is this? Day 4? I think I filmed a video on day 2 or 3 on this same hill. And I'm feeling really good actually going up it. Decent weather out today. I'm feeling a little bit better about walking long term. So yeah, let's see what we can do. I developed a blister on like the second day and wasn't really phased by it. Just kept walking on it. I think, looking back, I might have done it differently. And by differently, I mean I might have. Well, I'll talk about that later. But I was super stoked. I think on like day 4 or 5, I took a rest day, and like that wasn't planned, but I think actually that was really important. And I have a plan for like a ramp up period that seems like it might be useful, because after the rest day, I felt really good. I walked like 4 days. I was super tired and took a day off and then walked another like 4 and just was like killing it. I was walking like 5-6 miles a day. I felt super good. It was just like really good. So I think actually the rest days might be important. I think I might even build a rest day or 2 into the 30-day challenge, because it seems like our bodies just do best with rest. That's what it seems like. Hey guys, I think this is day 5. Okay, it's day 5? Day 5 of doing this walking challenge. And yeah, I'm actually kind of stoked. It's snowing outside. I'll try and get a video Here we go. Hey, what's up, guys? Out here walking. Um, it is pretty miserable out here. It's like all slushy. It's slushy out here, and yeah, winds blowing, snow's coming down. But I'm getting my walk in. You know, I'm sticking to the challenge. We got 7 peaks in 7 days coming up, so yeah, let's get some more walking in. Oh wow. So yeah, what went wrong? The foot blister got really bad. I'm not sure. I might include some images of it. I took a video of me popping it, but it's kind of nasty. Blister just got worse. I don't know if it's my shoes. I think it might be. I think it might be too that like I just ramped up so hard that I went from like I walk maybe a few times a week to all of a sudden walking 5 miles, 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row. It was just too much. Um, I had too soft of feet, I guess. So when this blister developed, I kept walking on it. I thought it would just kind of heal. I like Googled it. It said, don't worry, it'll heal within a few days. But I guess that's if you like stop walking on it. If I keep walking 4 or 5 miles a day, it didn't really heal. And that was eventually why I stopped. It was just too painful, and the blister just like wasn't healing. Talked to a doctor, and they said I had to stop. They said that's what I had to do if I wanted it to heal. One other thing was it was hard to deal with the inclement weather. At first, I didn't think this would be a big deal, and I think overall it isn't too big of a deal if you're ready for it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll walk in the rain, whatever. It was kind of hard as a compounding factor, if you will. So like when I was tired and it was raining, that was really hard. In fact, I don't think I walked a single day when it was raining, even though I thought I would. And I think if it was day 1 or 2 or 3, sure, I would have walked when it was raining. But on like day 8, when it was like pouring down rain all day, yeah, no, I was not about to go walk. Yeah. I think also one thing that went wrong was a lack of clear goals. And this led to kind of like some haggling, self haggling, especially as it got tough, like I said, when it rained or like when the blister got real bad, is I would say, okay, I'm going to do 3 miles instead of 5 miles. And then I'd say, well, how about I just do 20 minutes instead of 3 miles? And then I'm at this point where I'm like, look, why am I going out to walk for 20 minutes in the rain? I'll just skip today and pick it up tomorrow. And the other thing was it was hard to actually maintain the vlogs. I had this idea that I would do like a daily vlog, just a short little thing of saying like what day it was, kind of how I was feeling, have a little bit of footage while I was out walking. Hey guys, it's been a while since I made a video. I skipped a few days. Hey, what's up, guys? I forgot to make a video yesterday, but I'm making one today. And I hadn't really like thought this through exactly or like set up a template for how I was going to do this. And I thought I would just figure it out. But actually that made it kind of tough cuz like it's quite difficult to actually like keep myself walking every day. And to think about also how I was going to do a vlog that day. Structure wise was difficult. I think not enough ramp up period made it so that like quickly with the blister and stuff I just fell off. It was hard to keep going. Kind of not having the clear goals and not having a plan for how to deal with kind of unforeseen factors. Well, not even unforeseen, but just kind of like difficult factors like the weather. And then not really having like enough template or structure for the things surrounding the challenge. Like I said, eventually I talked to a doctor, and they said that I had to basically stop walking if I wanted my blister to heal. And it was pretty bad. Maybe I'll put this in, I'll just film it just in case, content trigger warning. This is really gross. But if I decide to put in the footage or something, this is where it's going to go. Have this terribly nasty, very unassuming little blister, and hopefully it doesn't turn into anything. I want to poke it right on the edge. goes. Ooh, there it goes. On the top.
Why not?
I don't know.
Does it hurt?
No. To poke it?
Yeah.
No.
Different layer.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So what would I do for next time? Well, I'd definitely set up a structure for kind of all of it, actually. I would set up a structure for the daily vlogs as far as like what those are going to be. And I think, I would do, like a 15 to 30-second kind of intro before I go on the walk of like how I'm feeling, how far I'm going to walk. And I might even like list those out a little bit stronger, how I'm feeling, how far I'm going to walk, what day it is, what the weather's like. Something like that. One shot while I'm walking, just kind of saying how the walk is going. Maybe I would even say like, about halfway. And then some kind of debrief after, where I just how it was. And I honestly think the more structure I have here, the better. Having it be real clear what I need to say exactly allows me to kind of just fill in the blank with that day. If it's all left in the air for 30 straight days, that's a lot to deal with. It's got to be like, at least for me, it's got to be a little bit more streamlined. Footage for the daily vlogs, the editing process for the daily vlogs. For me, that means, how to upload them to my computer, uploading them, doing them a simple edit, and then uploading them to YouTube. But I hadn't figured that out. It was weird how, like, if you think about it, like, so day one I do it, and then I get back, I'm tired, and now I gotta, like, I just went on a 5 or 6, like, day one I went on, like, a 5 or 6 mile walk, get back, it's, like, in the evening, and now I gotta, like, go through that process for the first time. It just wasn't happening. Now, having done it, it's fairly straightforward. I think I could do it, after, but otherwise, that's actually kind of difficult. Or it was difficult for me to go through a process that I hadn't done before, when I'm walking 6 miles a day. I think I would also make clear goals, and I might, knowing kind of where I'm at or what it's like to walk every day, I think I would build in some variation and have there actually be a ramp up period within the 30 days. So I might do something like, walk 2 miles a day, twice a week, walk, 4 miles twice a week, and walk 6 miles twice a week. Even that might be too much. I might do like 2, 3, 5 miles twice a week with one rest day for the first week, and then, maybe 3.5, 5 for the second week. This is two days a week, and then I don't know, maybe 2, 4, 6, and then like 2, 5, 7 or something like that. And that's how many miles I'm walking twice per week. And then that way, give myself a rest day somewhere in there. And then I have a clear idea. I can I could even something like have a checklist and check them off and be like, okay, I've already walked. This would also allow me to kind of throttle back and not work too hard. Because I think clearly left to my own devices, I'm just like, let's just walk 6 miles a day. Do that for 4 days, having never done that. And then all of a sudden, I have this blister and I'm tired and I just want to give up. So it kind of builds in a little bit of, what would you call that? Like a little bit of throttling. Builds in some moderation, if you will. So that then, if I've already walked the long and the medium walks, I only have my short walks left. And I just do that. I really like that idea. In fact, I think that's right, because walking every day doesn't mean walking 5 miles every day. It just means walking every day. And, you gotta just work with the physiology. I definitely think I would build in a ramp up period, and that's probably what I'm going to do this time. So it's like mid-April right now. I'll probably do like the challenge in May. Then for the next few weeks, I'll build in a little bit of schedule for probably walking 3 to 4 times, maybe even, 5 times. and kind of have it be like a reduced version. So I'll probably have 2 rest days, and do like 1, 3, and 5 miles or something like that. Well, maybe 1 mile is kind of short for me, but like I'll have like 2, 3, and 5 miles, and I'll do like 2 for 2, 3 miles twice, and a longer walk 5 or 6 miles once. And so in the next few weeks, I'll do that and kind of give myself lots of time. And maybe I'll even do, like 2, 3, 5 rest, 2, 3, 5 rest, something like that. During that time, also during the leading up period, I'm probably going to practice the vlog pipeline. So that just means like, actually practicing doing the vlogs and uploading them and kind of seeing if there's any kinks to work out or anything that I can kind of make it to streamline that. I think that'll all be better. That's what we got so far. So a few themes that I'm taking away from this are to create a structure to make it easy and mundane to follow through on daily tasks. So what this means is really finding a way to streamline the process for all of the extraneous things so that it really simplifies the mental load of all those daily tasks, so that you really can, because I really didn't appreciate just how much like mental bandwidth it takes to do the same thing over and over, because it seems like going for a walk is so easy, and it is relatively easy, but doing something when you don't want to is quite difficult. And walking 5 miles when you don't want to, and you've already walked 5 miles for the last few days, is quite difficult. And so I hadn't really appreciated just how difficult it was to keep that up, to sustain that. And so in that way, eliminating the mental load from all the other things as much as possible, I think makes it a little easier. I even think maybe like, if I could do it at the same time of day, that's a lot to ask of me. But if I could, I think that would also kind of simplify it even more. I think having some kind of a ramp up period where you kind of go through the motion, it gives you time to streamline the any of the processes involved, and allows, if it's a physical challenge, even a mental challenge to a certain degree, your body to kind of get ready for the challenge of doing it every day, kind of build up a little bit of endurance, and with some rest days. And then I think it's important to create clear goals. And like I was talking about earlier, that was actually just totally off the cuff, guys. It was totally like improv. What a genius idea coming to me in the middle of my video, is to have a little bit of variation built into the challenge, right? If the challenge is to walk every day, to have some lighter walking days and some heavier walking days, and kind of maybe have it kind of slowly ramp up as well throughout the challenge. Like I'm thinking I'm gonna make a video on. I'll make a video on it, on the math challenge that I did. I think it's just a little bit too hardcore to tell yourself, or to plan out to do the same hard thing every day for 30 days. Like if it's hard to do on day 1, it's going to be way too hard to do for 30 days straight. Like I'm pretty sure on that. Because you got some serious, energy behind that. I think it's going to be too difficult. I think there needs to be some easy days planned in. Like, for example, what do I actually mean by this? For me, walking 2 miles, I would say, is pretty easy. Walking 4 miles is a little bit tiring, and walking 6 miles is like kind of hard. If I just decide that I'm going to walk the hard one 6 miles every day for 30 days, I think that's very likely to fail. To give myself, with the mental challenge, I don't think you need the ramp up period quite as much. The ramp up period is mostly to help your body rest and recover. You don't really need that for mental, and it doesn't quite have the same impact. Mental tends to recover quicker. It's not like you develop a mental blister if you do too much math. Some kind of internal variation in the challenge, and then making it so that like the average per day is kind of medium average. Have some easy days, some hard days, some medium days, and then slowly ramp it up throughout the challenge. Too much. Okay. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to make another one for the math challenge that I did. I'll include some footage of it. It actually went like decently well. But again, I think that one similarly struggled from the same kind of themes. lacking structure, choosing a hard thing to do every day for 30 days, which is just, I think, on average too much. It needs to be more of like a average of medium. And then lacking clear goals, just having an idea of doing it once a day, that made it hard to act on the goal once I got into the challenge a little bit and started dealing with like the mental fatigue and kind of the challenge fatigue, if you will, the endurance fatigue. Being 7 days into a challenge, there needs to be some structure there, at least for me, in order to actually keep acting on it. If I'm left to my own devices 7 days in, it's just unlikely to actually like happen. Okay, this video I'm going to make, thanks for listening if you've gotten this far. I'm going to be making more challenges. I'm going to be restructuring these and attempting to do them in a few weeks. And yeah, that's what I got. Thanks for listening.